Attention, attention, all personnel. Incoming podcast. This is MASH Matters.
Welcome to MASH Matters, the podcast that celebrates the greatest television series of all time. That, of course, is MASH. You knew that. And you also know Jeff Maxwell. Hello, Jeff.
Hello, Ryan. How are you? It's good to see you this time. We're actually seeing each other because we're doing this on Zoom in honor of our special guest.
We do have a special guest today, Jeff.
Yes, we do.
Very special guest. And I will let you do the honors and introduce our special guest.
What was her name again? Just give me the name because I forget.
The initials are EK.
Oh, yeah. Well, our very special guest today is Enid Kent. And Enid Kent is one of your favorite nurses on the wonderful show MASH. And she was on there. She did 14 episodes, right?
Yeah.
14 episodes. And throughout the entire run of the show, because you were on the last show as well.
I was on the last show, but I wasn't on the first three because I was living in New York at the time.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't come in till later.
Till later, yeah. And you came on. Okay, welcome, welcome, Enid Kent. Thank you so much for being here.
You want to know how I got on MASH?
Hey, you could work here. My gosh, I'll go take a nap.
I
Go
like
ahead.
somebody who just jumps right to the point. Yeah.
Jumps right to the
Okay, here's the deal.
Okay.
When I was thinking about it, I realized that I got on MASH because of nepotism.
Oh,
wow.
okay.
My mother was an actress, Irene Tedrow,
Mm-hmm.
and she was rather well known. And Gene Reynolds was an actor when he was a kid,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and he was on radio, and so was my mother. So my mother knew Gene from the time that he was young. So when I came back from New York, I don't remember this, but possibly she called him up and said, "My daughter's an actress. Can you get her a role on MASH?" I don't know that, but I know that somehow that connection was made with Gene and my mother.
Wow. So it was nepotism.
It was nepotism.
Yeah.
It was total nepotism.
My goodness gracious. Well, so you were then out here in Los Angeles at that.
I came back to Los Angeles after New York, and I had more of a television career than I had a theatrical career, which was kind of disappointing because I really wanted to be on Broadway, but that's life.
Oh, yeah.
Well, before MASH, then let's go back to New York and just talk about your early career. What got you interested in acting? Was it your mother?
Yes. My mother was a well-known character actress. She had been in the business since it started, the television business. And previous to that, she was on stage and she had a long career. I mean, until she was like 80, she performed.
And for those who may not know, what was your mother's name?
Irene Tedrow.
And she is one of those actors that was in everything.
Yes.
She has one of those faces. As soon as you see her, you're like, oh, yeah, I've seen her before.
Right. All I have to do is show people the picture of my mother and they go, oh, yeah, I know her.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
That's great.
So anyway, I started being an actress when I went to college. I went to San Francisco. It was called San Francisco State then, not San Francisco University. And they had a drama department. So I got involved with plays in the drama department, and I was really going for it. After college, I got hired by the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco.
Wow.
They were brand new to San Francisco. They hadn't performed there. Now they're a fixture. And I guess I did 2 seasons. And then one of the directors said, I really think you should go to New York because we're going to take some plays to New York. One of them is The Three Sisters. And you and I both know you won't be in Three Sisters. So I think you should go to New York.
Wow. Okay.
So that's the way the company was set up. And I was an underling, as it were. So I was given, I played roles, wonderful roles, But when they traveled, I was the understudy for every role.
Oh, gosh.
So I went to New York, and New York was pretty exciting in the late 60s and early 70s. But, I didn't get there right away. I was working as a waitress and doing all of those things and going out on auditions. And I had a part in a movie. And the movie was Super Cops. And I was very young, and I was supposed to play a prostitute going up the stairs. Well, I didn't know anything. I was like 21. So I went on the subway to the shoot, which was in Brooklyn. And I thought, well, I need to look like a hooker. So I had curls in my hair and lots of makeup. And I thought, I'm getting on the subway. But nobody noticed because it was New York City.
Right.
And everybody looked like a hooker. So
Everybody looked like a hooker. Anyway, all I remember is that, and it was directed by Gordon Parks. So that was a nice thing. And then there was an audition for, I think it was Time of Your Life. And Time of Your Life was auditioning in New York. And I went to see the director, Ed Sheeran. And actually, I got that part, which was really nice because it was a traveling show with Henry Fonda, Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh, my gosh.
Louis Stadlin, who is a Broadway actor, was in it. And we had a wonderful time. We went to the Eisenhower Theater at the Kennedy Center. Yeah, we were one of the first shows.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and Strother Martin was in it too.
Oh, yeah.
Strother Martin was what we have here is a failure to communicate. Was one of his famous lines. And he loved music.
Oh.
And so he would invite us into his dressing room to listen to Delibes because he loved him so much. And Henry Fonda did needlepoint.
Really?
My
Big needlepoint guy.
Wow.
We were set to go to Chicago, and all of the young people wanted to take the train because we thought that would be terribly exciting. The snowstorm, if we can't fly, let's take the train. So all of us went to Fonda and asked him, you'd really like to go on the train, wouldn't you? And he said, yeah, think of all the needlepoint you could do.
Oh, my God.
Meanwhile, the train didn't happen. We went to Chicago to a theater that's a famous theater, but during the performance, no one could flush the toilet because the audience would hear it.
Oh.
This was a really old theater.
Okay.
So I don't know whether I should be telling the story or not, but when I would go to Richard Dreyfuss and Louis Stadlin's dressing room to hang out, if they had to go to the bathroom, they would just say, Enid, could you please turn around?
The theater.
I love it.
So then we went to Los Angeles, and that was pretty exciting because of all the people that came to see Fonda.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing that happened was I got a call to do Our Town with Henry Fonda.
Oh my God.
Because I was part of, quotes, their company. Martha Scott, who was a famous actress, had this theater company. So we did Our Town, and Margaret Hamilton played the woman who's at the wedding and who says, I always cry at weddings. I always cry. So that was Margaret Hamilton, Mildred Natwick, my mother. Who else? Anyway, it was a terrific, fun production to do. My famous part in that was that I was the rooster at the beginning of the show.
Wow.
And I sat in the graveyard.
Wow.
Wow. My goodness.
After that, I came back to Los Angeles and ended up in television. So that was my previous career before television.
Well, that's really impressive working with all the people that you mentioned. That's really spectacular. Wow.
How did your mother feel about you being in the business? Was she very supportive?
She was very supportive. My mother was a lovely woman, and she was very supportive, and she really wanted me to do it. And she was still working all the time that I was working.
Yeah.
She was constantly in demand.
Did you ever beat her out for a part?
Oh, the only time there were two times. Once we went on an interview for a commercial, and the guy who was running the video camera looked at us and said, "Wow, you really look alike." And I said, "Wow, we're really related." And the only other time we were on camera together was a television commercial. And the commercial was for, I don't remember, it was some floor something. But what was important about this was Mother and I went into the makeup room and we were having our makeup done, and suddenly a huge earthquake happened out west of Los Angeles. It was a famous earthquake.
Okay.
I ran out of the makeup room to see the wall of Raleigh Studios wave.
Oh my gosh, how scary.
But I forgot my mother. So when we were all sitting around talking, the guy who played my mother's husband in it was a man named Parley Bear. You would know Parley. You would see him and you would know exactly who he was. But he was famous because he was the Keebler elf.
Keebler elf, yes. I'm very familiar with Parley.
So he told us a wonderful story. He started out, he was a ringmaster for the Barnum Bailey Circus in Boston. And his wife was a bareback rider, and her mother was also in the circus. And in I think it was the late 40s, they had a huge fire. And his wife was panicked and ran out of the trailer, leaving her mother in the trailer. So it's a grand tradition of what I did.
This wasn't his first rodeo. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the way they cut the commercial, we were only in teeny tiny cubes and we couldn't see that we were related at all.
That's too bad.
So that was it.
Wow. So finally, all right. So Gene Reynolds says, okay, Enid, you're now going to be on this new show we got called MASH.
Nurse Bigelow.
Right.
Nurse Bigelow.
Yes.
Nurse Bigelow. Did you know that did they give you a script and say, here, you're Nurse Bigelow, or you just showed up and they said, here, go over there and say those things?
I think they probably sent me sides.
Okay.
I rarely got a full script.
That's not unusual, really.
A man who was an actor and I were sitting in a room waiting to go on, and he said to me, holding his pages out, "This is a floater." And he took it and it floated down to the floor. He said, "You get a real script and it plops."
It plops. I want to be a plopper, not a floater.
So I don't think I had very many lines that first time. We were out in Malibu, and it was a job. I got a job. Wow, I got a job. So I did my 3 lines, and then they called me back another time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that, I think my second show starred that blind actor Sullivan.
Right.
Tom Sullivan. I don't
think
remember.
so. I think it was Tom. I think it was Tom Sullivan. Yeah.
That I have some memories of because we sat around as we did while they were setting up the lights. And it was Alan and Mike and Tom. And they asked him, they said, because he was really an extraordinary guy. He was famous for having jumped in the swimming pool and saved his daughter. And that was one of the things. But he had this special sight thing. And they said to him, I don't get it. How do you do this? And he said, hold fingers up to my cheek, and I'll tell you how many fingers you held up. And he said 3. So he obviously, it was either heat or what, some special thing because he had no sight
Mm-hmm.
that he could do. So it was a lovely discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Other times I remember sitting around with Mike and Alan, and it was computer games, handheld computer games were just invented. So they were playing on one game, trying to beat the game. And neither of them could do it. Well, that was the 70s. So
Let me go back real quick.
Yeah.
So your first show was out at the ranch?
yeah,
Is that right? So where did you live generally? In Los Angeles somewhere?
I still live one block below Paramount,
Okay.
and I've lived here for nearly 50 years.
Okay. So you had to go out there, drive to that ranch from all that distance.
Right,
That's kind of a schlep. And you got to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning or something.
right.
And so you're driving at 6 o'clock in the morning. Where am I going? And then you get there and they drag you in that van and you get there. And my experience, and we've talked about this on MASH Matters, that in the morning it was freezing.
Yeah.
Really, really cold.
Right.
And then it heats up. And then all of a sudden you're dripping wet from going freezing cold to dripping wet because of the heat. So did you have that kind of a same experience out there?
Well, it was out by Cane and Dune Road, which was really far away. I mean, now you
Yeah.
get traffic on the way out there. So yeah, that was so long ago that I don't really remember.
Okay.
I must have gone to the ranch other times because speaking of sweltering and all of that, there was an episode where I guess it was supposed to be cold. And Jamie was in a fur coat. And I remember him saying, guys, can we hurry it up? I'm really hot. You're right. It was hot,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
cold. Yeah.
Wow.
So when you started on MASH, were you familiar with the show at all?
No, I'd heard about it.
Really?
I'd heard about it. I had never seen it.
Okay.
But you know what? There were a lot of shows that I would have to call up and say, I'm auditioning for this show tomorrow. Have you seen it? What's happening? What is
Yeah. Is there any nudity or what? We don't know.
It was like, I remember I had a job for a show called Dynasty.
Yeah.
I hadn't watched the show, and I went with my daughter to a pool party with just a few people, and I said, well, I'm going to be on this show next week called Dynasty, and they all went crazy.
Well, that was a big deal. Yeah. Dynasty.
It was a big deal. Yeah. I was nothing.
For me, because I grew up watching the show. I loved MASH, and I've been a huge fan of it ever since. And when I sit here and I see that you were on 14 episodes, to me, in my mind, you were on 50 episodes of the show because you've just always been there in these episodes that I've loved for so many years.
Right.
So to know that you only made 14 appearances really blows my mind, because when I see you, I know you're Nurse Bigelow. That's who you are. So to me, you were a part of the entire series, even though you didn't come in until halfway through.
Right.
Do you still hear from MASH fans?
Oh, do I? At least once a month, I get 5 requests for my autograph.
Huh.
Either they send me screenshots that they've done from the TV, or there are little postcards that have MASH on them that they had made up. Recently, I got a picture of Alan and me, and in a little box was a picture of my mother.
Oh.
All I could think of was that I don't know whether this MASH fan knew that my mother was an actress, or if he or she thought that this is good. This is a picture of me currently.
Oh, wow.
Because I do look like my mother. I can't get away from it. The only time I did get away from it was when I let my hair go white. And that was a little bit of a difference for me, but not really for people. When I show pictures of my mother, they go, oh, wow, you look just like her.
You do resemble your mother. Yes, absolutely.
How was the experience? You know, Ryan and I have talked about MASH for a long time, and our history is that Ryan is a big fan of MASH, has been for a million years, and I worked there. It was a job. You know, when I started out, it was a job all the way through. It was a job. I really didn't begin to understand the impact that it had until he and I started doing this. I mean, I knew people liked it, but I didn't understand the full impact of it until all of that, you know, we started doing it. And people write to us and say, you saved my life. I was in the hospital and you made me laugh. And then the show and the thing, and I got a job and I became a nurse. I became a doctor. It's amazing. I mean, the impact that the show has on audiences is truly amazing. When you were there, you were, as Ryan said, you were part of it. And I feel that same way. You were part of the show, and being only in 14 episodes, big deal. You still are part of the tapestry of that unit, really.
Right.
So when you were there, did you start to feel any of that, or was this just a job? Or
It was always just a job.
see, Ryan, see, Ryan.
She's one of you. I get it.
Ryan, people waited to get a job. I mean, if you went to an audition, you really wanted that job. They called me and they would say, "You're working the show tomorrow." Oh, okay. So then I went to work on MASH. Once I got more lines, I guess it was in the episode where they have the mystery book and there's a missing page. I think Loretta Swit was ill during that particular episode because I got her lines. So I had more to do.
Well, you were lucky you showed up again, actually, because of that.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, boy.
There's some stories there.
I'm sure there are.
Here's something that I had a really wonderful relationship with the makeup man, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever know Terry?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. He would tell me these wonderful stories about his father was in silence and would jump on and off trains and do all that crazy stuff that they did in silent movies. But he also was a makeup man. I think it was MGM.
Wow.
And he always made me look great. He didn't do anything, just put the makeup on, and that was it. But that was the only show I worked on before I got another job. And the other job was at Universal as I don't remember I guess it was a stewardess. Oh, Macmillan and Wife was the name of the show.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I thought at the time, wow, I'm going to be at Universal and I'll be all glammed up because that's what Universal does, you know? And I went to the makeup room and I got made up and I looked terrible. And I realized the skill that Terry had to make me look like just a regular person on MASH.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't try to do anything. We just were us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something really nice because in those days it was glam.
Did you feel the MASH camaraderie, the family-ishness of it at all? Did you? Or?
I did to some extent. I loved Kelly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She was great. But I guess I really wasn't on. I didn't have that many days of work. Even though it was 14 episodes, I just didn't, I guess I didn't. It was in an episode called Movie Tonight, and I was a real novice. So I was supposed to lead all the nurses into the tent singing.
Yes.
So I started to do it, and then cut. She's not on her marks.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't really know how to do that.
Yeah. What mark? Gee.
Okay, no, because I was looking down. So,
Did you like, compared to being on the stage, did you like television work, or did you prefer one of the over the other?
being in the theater is so much better.
Oh, I'm so depressed now. I can't.
Well, for an actor like me, didn't have a lot of scenes. There's a lot of waiting around.
Yeah, sure.
And, you can lose a lot of energy waiting around. I don't remember very much about that part, no. And that we were all together, particularly the last episode. The last episode, Alan directed, and he's such a wonderful person. I just admire him so much. And he let the extras who had lines, they'd never had lines before. And if they flubbed because they were nervous, he'd say, okay, that's fine. We'll do it again. Just relax.
Mm-hmm.
And he got performances out of everybody because he was so loose and free about maybe the money they were spending on that. I don't know, but he took enough takes. Sometimes he took too many takes. It was like, okay, Alan, that's enough takes.
Yeah.
But he was really terrific about that and put people at ease all the time.
Yeah.
That's something that's very special on a movie set or TV set, because oftentimes, because I had such small parts, they wouldn't introduce themselves to me. I was just an actress playing that part. With bigger stars, I never said anything, but once I was on a commercial and it was toward the end of the day and they said, hey, could the mom come over here? And I just got really mad and I said, the mom has a name.
Yeah.
Her name is Enid.
Yeah, good for you. I like that. That's great.
But that was rare.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you were on a different show, like you went to Universal, did you notice any difference between the other shows and working on MASH? Did you have any sense of a difference at all?
Yeah, definitely. Because, well, some of the shows I did were three camera shows. That's really different from
Sure.
taping or, I don't know, filming. Did we film?
Yeah.
Filming MASH,
Film
yeah.
versus tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I guess I must have, but
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to remember how I felt all those years ago about.
It's been a while.
Sure. Well, and the three camera shows oftentimes were in front of a live audience.
Right.
That lends itself more to the theatrical experience.
Right,
As opposed to
exactly.
shooting on film, because you don't get that immediate response from an audience when you're shooting on film.
Correct. And so that was more what I was used to. And yeah, the parts that I had, I don't think ever warranted more. I think I've got parts for small things. Like I don't remember, it was a movie with Jimmy Smits. The audition was to read like one or two lines. And I just tossed it off because I wasn't going to make Shakespeare out of two lines. But a lot of actors felt that that was their moment, so that they had to show what they could do. And you can't do that. I mean, you have to be regular and just show what the person. A couple of lines, you say that he went to the office. I mean, what are you going to do with that?
I tried to do a lot of things with liver or fish. That took me weeks to memorize it.
I knew more about the people and the MASH experience because I had done it so many times, but I also knew the people I was working with, like David Ogden Stiers.
Mm-hmm.
David Ogden Stiers was an actor that I had admired when I was in college because he had done a production of Comedy of Errors.
Okay.
And he played both parts. And this was a theater production. I think it was at Stanford. He was fabulous. He was fantastic. So I had always admired him, but I didn't really know that he was such a music buff.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember one visual of him on his skateboard because he didn't drive. He went out the big doors they must have had the big doors to the sound stage up, and he jumped on his skateboard and zoomed down to the music department where they were scoring some film. and so he could listen.
Wow.
There was a lot of personal things. I was friends with Mike Farrell and his wife, Judy.
Mm-hmm.
It just was that kind. Because we saw each other periodically, if we weren't regulars, there was an ease to it that I didn't get from episodic. Oh, you're working the show today.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. And when you got to MASH, you didn't know anybody else then other than David Ogden Stiers, or were you familiar with any of the other people in the cast?
Well, Alan Alda, I think
Okay.
I did. And I was in one season with Larry Linville.
Mm.
And I didn't really know him, but I do remember that when that particular show that I was on finished, they showed a bunch of bloopers that they had, which I'm sure they show other times, but to the entire cast. We sat there and we watched. And I remember Larry being there. I don't remember anything else about it.
Hmm.
You mentioned the finale. What do you remember about the hoopla around the finale? It was such a big deal.
It was such a big deal. So when I watched it, it was wonderful, but it wasn't until after the show aired that it became the longest show on television and all of this.
Mm-hmm. More people watching it than
More
anybody else.
people.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, it kind of faded. It was a funny thing about MASH. I once went on an audition and the person who was reading my resume said, "Oh, you were on MASH." I never watched that show.
Great.
So,
Oh boy. Thanks a lot.
I didn't think it was, it was a show.
Mm-hmm.
I would say about 20, 25 years ago, I started getting people writing me these beautiful letters, really heartfelt stuff that, was difficult sometimes to read, and they want my autograph. I thought, wow, this is such a long time, but, I haven't heard anything about this, but okay. And it continued, and it's continued today, so that there are a lot of people who send me their stuff, and it's very nice and it's very touching, these letters that people send.
Yeah. We get them too.
Ah,
Because of Jeff's involvement, especially with the podcast. People feel like it's an opportunity to really open up and share with somebody who was connected to the show how much the show meant to them.
right.
And boy, they do.
They do.
They're little therapy sessions, really, all these letters and notes that they send to us. And then some of them are really heart-wrenching and touching. And it just shows that MASH touched people on so many different levels.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you did too. I mean, even though you're saying, oh, well, I did 13 or 14 episodes, going back to the point that you were part of something that really did touch people. So you did as well.
Yes.
And you just did. And, you're walking around and you're going to the market and buying bananas and you don't think about it. But other people who remember MASH and are thinking about that experience for themselves do remember. And they do remember you. And they do remember the stories and the things that gave them inspiration or touched them emotionally. And you were an ingredient in that. So it's a really cool thing.
Yeah, it is. It's not like any other theatrical experience. It's just,
Right.
It's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah,
Yes.
great point. You mentioned Kelly, and you enjoyed
Yeah.
Kelly, huh? Wasn't she
Yeah.
wonderful? She was an angel.
She was wonderful.
Yeah.
She was just friendly, and you always need that on a set, particularly if you're not there all the time and you just drop in. You need those people to welcome you and just, oh, hi, we haven't seen you in a while. And that was nice because everybody was always there. That's the thing about MASH it was a closed unit. It was the same people, and they made sure that it was that way because Alan and Jean and Bert would have a script meeting every Wednesday before Alan flew to New York to be with his family. And they made sure that the characters stayed true to their characters so that it wasn't anything wildly, oh, let's put this in new. This is a genuine space, and we have to fill it with people that we already know and their interactions, nothing else. And that's very special
Yeah.
to keep the scripts really tight like that.
It was an amazing experience. When you were on the set, was there something interesting about that? I know there was the operating room, and then there was the recovering room, and then there was the mess hall, and all those different. I always thought you walk on stage 9 and you go into that set, and that big door closes, and you're really in a different place.
Right.
I was really always blown away by how I felt when I walked around and go, oh, wow, look at this. I could be somewhere else right now. Really fun, wasn't it? You weren't there when Wayne Rogers was there, were you? Did you
No,
know?
I wasn't.
No. Okay. So Mike was there. Yeah, you were there with Mike, who was a wonderful guy. I mean, Wayne was too. Certainly, he was a wonderful human being.
And Burt Metcalf. Burt Metcalf was a real sweetheart.
Yeah.
He was a really close friend, and he was lovely.
Yeah.
That's another thing that you don't necessarily feel on a one day, one off on a show, is that those same creators were with you and they knew you. They weren't suits in a big building that came down and said, no, you have to do it this way.
Yeah.
It was very well run.
It was.
Well, in the sense that everybody was cordial and working toward a goal of making it a good show. That could only happen when it was all of the people involved were there and having that feeling. That's why the audience responds so much, because we were friends of theirs. I mean,
Well put.
they knew us. They knew us. They knew when they turned on their television, like if I hadn't been on for a while, they would go, oh, there's Nurse Bigelow.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like suddenly I disappeared, you know what I mean? And never was on the show ever again.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very nice.
So the last acting credit I see for you was 1998, according to IMDb.
What did I do?
A TV movie called Legalese.
Oh, yeah. That was with James Garner.
Oh, wow.
And my friend Glenn Jordan, who was a director, called me for this part. And I had to go up to this office that I hadn't been to before to get the script. And they didn't know who I was. They said, oh, okay, they didn't understand why the director was asking for me. And they handed me the script. I mean, it was like they didn't know me at all. So I don't think I had very much. I think I was by myself in the scene on the phone. I don't remember anybody else but Glenn, the director, being in the room. But James Garner, who was in the show, came to the set, and he came early. His scenes weren't till the afternoon, but he said, well, I'm just bored at home and I just need to be here. So he was around, and he was around when we went to lunch. So I walked with him to lunch, and I said, my mother was on Rockford Files.
Oh, fun.
And he was cordial. He remembered her, but I don't, he probably worked with so many actors.
Oh, so many. Yeah.
But he was very receptive and very cordial and very nice. And that goes a long way.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, everybody on MASH was that way. That's why that family feeling was created, because these were all kind of adults who shared something that they wanted to make. They wanted to make a point, and that show tried to make a point in every episode. And so everybody was of that mind. Let's make a point. No matter what the part or the role or whatever it was, everything was designed to do that. And so everybody had the same goal, I think. And that's what really drew the family together, because that you had to stick together to make that goal happen. And that's the fun part of that family feeling.
Right.
You were part of that.
Yes. And you're still a part of that.
You're still a part.
Yeah.
After 1998, you stepped away from acting.
Yeah.
Why did you step away, and what did you do?
Okay. I got really fed up with the parts that I was playing. When I was on Head of the Class, one of the times I had to dance the lambada.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, that's an interesting.
So already in my 40s. So I did it, but it was kind of like icky. So I decided, okay, I'm going to go to a career counselor and see if there's something else I can do. So I went to a career counselor and we took the battery of tests and all that kind of stuff that said I'd be great to be a character actress. Well, thank you. I was.
That's funny.
So
That's
I
great.
decided, all right, I'm always going to be an actress. There's nothing else that I really know how to do, but what am I interested in? I said, I can go to a party and I can talk to anybody about anything. So he said, I said, I can talk to people and I know all this stuff, but nobody's interested in all the stuff that I know. He said, well, there's something called information science. And I said, oh, what's that? He said, that's what they're calling library these days.
Huh.
I said, oh, I've always liked libraries. So I went to a class, I was the only student. So they canceled that class. So then there was going to be another class at Pasadena City College in library technician. Okay, I'll do that. I'll see what that's like. So I went to Pasadena, stood in line with all of the students, got up to the window and said, here's my papers. I want to take this cataloging class. Oh, but before you do this, you have to take basic library. And I went, but I have a BA. Oh, you have a BA? Oh, that waives everything. And I thought, gee, that and my SAG card and 225 will get me on the bus. I convinced them to let me take this class and I loved it. And I would go on auditions and I would say, guess what? I'm studying to be a librarian. Oh, that's nice. So I took about 3.5 semesters and then I hurt my back. So I couldn't do anything for a while. And then at my synagogue, they needed a library assistant. So I begged them to let me be that. And the head librarian didn't know what she was doing. So ultimately, I got the job. But I got this wonderful job of creating the children's library and being the children's librarian.
Oh, nice.
There wasn't anybody better to read books to kids than me. I got off on it so much.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved the children. And the children, I learned to sit down when the preschoolers came in or they'd cut me off at the knees because they were so happy. Enid. And I was a celebrity to the under 5 set. So I did that and I really enjoyed it because it wasn't like show business. People were nice to me. The only thing that bothered me was whenever there was someone who was called a celebrity, they would come into the library and they'd say, Enid, come with us. Tell us who this is. And I knew they were going to shoot an episode of famous television show. I can't remember the name now. They were going to do it in the sanctuary. And everybody was so excited. I decided to come to work in the afternoon so I didn't have to go through all of the kinds of things. But when I first started, I realized that the teachers that were burned out weren't very nice to the kids because they were burned out. And I thought, if that ever happens to me, I'd quit because this is too much fun. But it got to the point where the parents changed and the children changed and it was no longer enjoyable. So I quit that, but I still love libraries and I read a lot.
Yeah.
And I have a friend who wants me to be in his movie if he gets the funding. So I said yes,
Oh,
nice.
good. Yeah.
Nice.
And one who is trying to also make a movie, getting the funding is the big problem, isn't
Getting
it?
the funding is a big problem.
You got to get the money.
You got to get the money. And who knows these days? I mean,
Yeah, it's tough.
it's tough. Yeah.
You should be in a movie about a library. That would be kind of cool. A series
done
starring you in a library. I like it.
A Korean War nurse who comes back to the States and opens a library. There it
Perfect.
is. Well,
What's
Enid,
that?
this has been an absolute delight.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you for taking the time, and thank you for being a part of a show that all of us love, and you will always be a part of that. So because of that, you'll always be special to us. So thank you.
Oh, that's really sweet. And I really enjoyed this. It was like a blast from the past. In the sense that,
Yeah.
out of the blue, you called me and asked me, and I thought that was lovely. So thank you, guys.
Well, thank you for answering the phone. Yeah.
Thanks for calling back. And I know our listeners will love hearing from you and hearing your stories and hearing your thoughts and just hearing somebody that they love and that they feel very special about. So.
Yeah.
Hey, our mics are your mics. Anytime you have something to say, you want to come back, just let us know. And you're here.
Yep. You're part of us now.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not.
Oh, that's really nice.
Well, thank you for listening. Until next time, here's looking up your old address.